My ex crashed my wedding ceremony drunk and screaming. 6 hours later, he was sobbing in my new husband's arms, apologizing for the pain he caused us both. Sometimes rock bottom looks nothing like you expect. The moment every bride fears isn't tripping down the aisle or a wardrobe malfunction, parents hearing your ex-boyfriend's voice shouting, "This is a mistake," just as you were about to say, "I do." I froze mid-vow, my hands trembling in Michael's steady grip as I turned to see Jake stumbling down the aisle, his suit wrinkled and eyes glazed from what I could only assume was a day's worth of liquid courage. Jake slurred, pointing an accusatory finger at Michael. "She was going to move to Seattle with me before you came along. 4 years together, and this was how Jake decided to summarize our relationship." Perrin with a half-truth shouted at my wedding. Yes, we had discussed Seattle once before he cheated on me with my former roommate and before I met Michael, who never once made me feel like I needed to compromise my dreams. Security, thank God my brother insisted we hire some, escorted Jake out as he continued shouting about our unfinished business. My makeup artist rushed to fix the masfio now streaming down my face while my maid of honor whispered reassurances. "Do you want to postpone?" Michael asked quietly, his eyes full of concern rather than anger. That moment paired his complete focus on my feelings rather than his ego paired reminded me exactly why I was marrying him. We finished our vows with Jake's interruption hanging in the air like an unwelcome ghost. The reception started with nervous energy, guests speaking in hushed tones about the incident. I was determined not to let Jake ruin the day we'd spent a year planning. 3 hours into the reception, my sister grabbed my arm during our father-daughter dance. "Jake's back," she whispered. "He's outside talking to Michael's brother." My heart sank. Round 2 was coming, and I wasn't sure I had the emotional strength left. I excused myself from my father and headed toward the exit, prepared to call the police if necessary. What I found instead stopped me in my tracks. Jake was sitting on a bench, soberly crying, while Michael's brother Tim sat beside him. When Jake saw me, he stood up unsteadily, not from alcohol this time, but from what looked like emotional exhaustion. "I am not here to cause more problems," he said, his voice hoarse. I need to apologize properly." Tim gave me a reassuring nod and walked back inside, leaving us alone for the first time in over a year. "I destroyed us because I was scared of how much I loved you," Jake said, tears streaming down his face. "And when I heard you were getting married, something broke inside me. But seeing you today, seeing how he looks at you, I know now. I never gave you what you deserved." Before I could respond, Michael appeared beside me, his hand gently resting on my lower back. Parrot not possessive, just supportive. "I owe you an apology too," Jake said to Michael, struggling to maintain eye contact. "What I did today was unforgivable. What happened next still surprises me when I think about it." Michael stepped forward and did something I never expected. Parrot hugged Jake, a real hug, not a performative one. "We've all hit rock bottom," Michael said quietly. "The difference is what we do afterward." Jake broke down completely then, sobbing against the shoulder of the man whose wedding day he tried to ruin hours earlier. My new husband held my ex-boyfriend while he cried, showing more compassion than most people would think possible that night. Wasn't just the beginning of my marriage, Parton. It was the night I watched 2 men choose grace over ego, healing over hurt. Jake left after composing himself, declining our unexpected invitation to stay for a drink. 6 months later, we received a sobriety chip in the mail with a simple note. "Day 180. Thank you both for the wake-up call." Perrin J. Sometimes the most beautiful moments come from the ugliest situations, and sometimes the person who tries to ruin your special day ends up giving you an unexpected gift. Perrin the chance to witness extraordinary compassion in action. If you want to know what happened when Jake showed up at our first anniversary party with his new girlfriend, like and share for part 2.